let me read the context. This post did ratio mine, but I get ratioed a lot in the Genshin Impact community because they're all chronically online Twitter users who anything that says I disagree with Tectone will blow up because I all their moms and it makes them upset. So I put out this tweet. And I put out, okay? And once again, I want to make sure you guys know, I put out this tweet to be on the side of the Genshin Impact children community, okay? Because you can't deny Genshin Impact is a game for kids. It is, okay? And we need to stop pretending like this is this giga mature, high skill cap game where we need to get endgame. Understanding that this game is a baby game will make you understand why they do what they do with Genshin Impact a little bit more than you already do. Okay, now I'm not gonna lie, I get a little bit condescending because I'm bitter about it, because it could have been so much more, but they decided to go full baby game, right? So I'm gonna go through all of this and I'm gonna let you know what's going on here. So I put out a tweet and I say, a lot of people take offense to this, but if you disagree, you are 100% wrong objectively. Now, people got really angry about this, by the way. They got very, very, very angry. And that's not a surprise because little kids get angry very quickly. So Genshin Impact is a children's game and there's nothing wrong with that, okay? Now, I would assume off of this, you can hear me out because it is a game, it is made for children, and I broke down the reasons why it is for fucking children. So Genshin Impact is Fortnite coded. Fortnite is another game that's meant for children, okay? Genshin Impact is a very vibrant, colorful world, much like Fortnite, another game aimed towards children. Genshin Impact has Paimon, a character very similar to Boots, the monkey from Dora the Explorer, to break down everything that was said in the story in case the kid playing it doesn't understand. You cannot look me in the face and tell me that Paimon is meant for adults, that Paimon is meant for teenagers. Paimon is there to talk to stupid babies because stupid babies are the people who play Genshin Impact. Now, Genshin Impact might be enjoyed by older people. It might be. I love Shrek. I love Fortnite. But I'm not gonna ask for a Shrek Fiona sex scene because it's a kid's movie, right? Just the same way where I'm not gonna ask for adult content in Genshin anymore because it's a kid's game. All right, let's continue. They don't show any blood in the game. They don't show any real deaths. Characters like Senora, they fade away. Tepe fades away, but it portrays death in a very friendly, childlike manner. Okay, they don't show people getting their heads ripped off. They don't show blood anywhere, right? They barely even show people mourning death for longer than a second because they don't want anybody to be sad. Tepe dies, you get over in like 5 seconds. Okay, Senora dies, you're like, oh well, there it is. Okay. Anyways, combat is very simple. You just match your favorite colors. Blue and green make pretty flowers. Wow. And boom, all the enemies are gone. Hyper Bloom is OP. Okay? Take some blue, take some green, throw some purple in there. Fuck it. Boom. That's how it goes. Okay? You can act like the combat system is complex. It's really not. Take your pretty blues, take your pretty greens, throw them in a puddle. Now you have a big pretty flower. Put electricity on them and boom. Okay? Klee would be excited. Okay? It's combat for kids. It's color matching. Okay? It is. It is color match. That's all it is. There's no parries, barely any dodges. There's barely any combos. It's just, okay, max the colors. And then for all the characters that have complex kits and complex mechanics, they're accidental. Okay? Nobody in Hoyo versus thinking, yeah, then we'll have them dash cancel Hu Tao's charge attack. That way you can do 12% more DPS if you play frame perfectly. Like, nobody's thinking that. It's a fucking accident. It's legit a fucking accident. There's any complexity. Let's just keep it a buck. Okay? The mini games are quite literally Mickey Mouse Funhouse puzzles. If you get upset at this, you are just coping at this point. You move fucking balloons around. You pick flowers, you take photos of children, and that either means that you're a kid or you're fucking EDP. You know what I mean? Like, there's a mint matching flower game, a collect a coin game. They pop the balloons. Woo! They even have an event where you take photos of flowers, right? The most widely regarded Genshin Impact event is fucking hide and seek. It is fucking hide and seek. Okay? And don't get me wrong, I loved that event. It was fun, but you gotta know that event is meant for kids. Okay? I mean, guys, we even have little kids in the community who still believe in imaginary friends who can't tell their wife or husbando doesn't exist in real life. These people, they think that Zhao is real. I mean, good God. It's not even kids. I think Ziox thinks Zhao is real. I'm pretty sure Ziox thinks that Zhao is his boyfriend, okay? And there's nothing wrong with that. I support my gay king. Go for it, man. But there are little kids who don't get it. And that's what causes the most issues in this community, is because there's a bunch of little kids on Twitter who don't get the difference between real life and anime. You can't tell me I'm wrong on that. You know, 99% of the issues that happen in this community are because little kids don't know what's real and what's not. Guys, there are people who think that I'm racist and transphobic. There are people who think I sexually assaulted an anime girl. They think I fucked Robin, the video game character. I mean, obviously, we did fuck, but it was consensual. So I have no idea what the fuck they're talking about. People like to use MC as a self-insert because as a kid, you have social anxiety and you probably don't speak in real life when the grown-ups are talking as well. There's also no swearing in the entire game because obviously we don't want kids learning swear words. Some of us believed it was for adults with the promise of challenging endgame content, but unfortunately we were lied to, and every combat scenario are just bullet sponges testing to see if you spend enough money with your mother's credit card yet or not. Let's be real. You know it, I know it, everybody knows it. Genshin Impact's combat is being like, oh, look at how big the health bar is now. Can you beat it? Go ahead, Sonny. Run around with your kite. Hit him with your stick. You never go into a boss fight thinking, man, this is gonna be really tough. I might have to dodge a mechanic. The only thing you're thinking is, I really hope he stops being invulnerable. I really hope he lands so I can hit him. Oh, he's on the ground, man, his health bar sure is big. I sure hope I have enough damage so I can beat him. But you're not thinking, oh, Jesus, this guy's gonna fuck me up. You're just thinking, how long is it gonna take me to beat him? That's all you're thinking. They had characters like Mona, Jean, and Amber that had some skin showing. They decided they had to cover it up to not be an influence on the kids that play the game, or that could just be the CCP. And there's nothing wrong with the game being for kids, but we at least have to acknowledge that it is a baby game. It is truly a baby game. It is, guys. It is a game for babies. That doesn't mean that you can't enjoy it, but if you don't understand that what you're playing is a baby game, then you are going to be miserable because you are going to ask for mature, more complex things that aren't going to be put into Genshin Impact because it's not a game for adults. It's a game for babies. That's just how it is. And you're not going to go to a nursery and yell at the chefs for giving you applesauce and tater tots every day and say that they're wrong because they're making food for kids. Obviously, they're not here to serve you steak and burgers. They're here to feed babies. So yes, you're going to get upset eating there because it sucks unless you're a kid. So we got to stop asking Genshin for mature adult updates because the game is for kids and you're going to ruin the game for the kids trying to play the baby game. Okay? And if you ever come into me in any scenario and you tell me that you're wrong, I'm going to make you listen to Paimon talking to you for 12 hours. I want to know, who do you think that's meant for? Who do you think Paimon is? I genuinely want to know. Who do you think Paimon is meant for? You think Paimon's meant for adults? Absolutely not. They even said they won't be making more endgame due to the fact that it might give their players anxiety. And then when they finally announced 2 years after that post that they completely flop and make endgame more restricted to trick kids spend more money. Their idea of endgame was, let's not let people use their favorite characters. Okay, and I'm sure some guy who thinks that Hu Tao is their girlfriend is going to be very upset by not being able to use her until on Spiral Abyss because he's going to feel like he's cheating on her. Okay, and then I contacted Hoyoverse themselves. Okay, just thought it was important to share, and if you don't believe me, let me provide a quote from the employee themselves. I contacted John Hoyoverse. I contacted him, and he's a busy guy, and he told me, yes, we made the game for kids and stuff. A direct quote from the employees. And there are people still denying that this is not a kid's game. And it's ridiculous because when I tell you it's a baby game, when the employees themselves are telling you this is a kid's game. And I want to make this very clear. Chat, type 1 if you were there when you heard John Hoyoverse say that. Because we were all there. We were all there. We all heard John Hoyoverse say it. And there's going to be people who deny that John Hoyoverse said it. In conclusion, Genshin Impact is indeed a baby game. Due to its simplistic storyline, accessible gameplay, cute art style, social features, monetization model, while it may not offer the same level of complexity or challenge as other games in the market, it is an excellent choice for new players who just starting their gaming journey. As such, Genshin Impact is not suitable for adults who are looking for a more mature gaming experience. Absolutely. Now, me personally, I can understand how people could be upset by that. Just like Minecraft YouTubers will be upset when you tell them the age of consent is 18. But that doesn't make it wrong, okay? Minecraft is also for children. Roblox is also for children. Genshin Impact is also for children, okay? And that's something that we all need to understand. Yeah, Ziox even said that we needed John Hoyoverse, okay? Now, here's Minjleaf. And I want to say this beforehand. I think Minjleaf is so sweet. I think she is so nice. I don't really know her. But I've seen their content, and I think they're such a sweetheart. They unfollowed me after making this post, and I apologize if I hurt your feelings, Minjleaf. But I wanna go through your quote, unless I'm just on the wrong account and you follow my main account. Let me check. Before I misquote, do you still follow me? And the answer is yes, they do. We're all good. Thank God. I was worried I upset someone who I actually like quite a bit. Okay? And I would love for you to come on the GotchaCast anytime. Because I'm a big fan of your videos. All right, thank God. Phew. All right, misinformation avoided. Okay, I want to read their perspective. Okay, because this thing blew the fuck up. However, you have to understand, you have the I said Tectone is wrong buff. Okay, you saying Tectone's wrong is pretty much the equivalent of saying Donald Trump is wrong, Andrew Tate is wrong, and Adolf Hitler's wrong. Okay, because that's how the community views of me. So you got to understand, you may have ratioed me, right? You might have, but you did have a big buff going in. You know, I'm Voldemort. They call me Baldemort in this community. Okay, let's run it down here. Okay, I'm not saying I 100% agree or disagree. Genshin is designed to attract the widest audience possible. This includes children. But for those interested, Genshin actually has a very dark lore. The only thing is most of it is in quest dialogue or text. So they avoid having to show very dark topics on screen, and it makes it possible for children to easily skip over. Here's a list of some very dark lore within Genshin's story if you're interested. Note this will contain spoilers. Yes, I agree. Deep within the dark lore of Genshin Impact, there's probably a lot of really bad stuff going on. There's probably so much shit going on. I mean, let's just quote the Teletubbies. If you've seen the dark lore of the Teletubbies, it's pretty fucked up too, right? They say that the baby in the sun is actually a demon, okay? There's also a theory where they killed dead children, stuffed the insides of the Teletubbies with their spirits. There's also lore saying that Teletubbies are actually giants, okay? But if you come to me and you tell me that this is made for adults, you're wrong, okay? Now, it might have some dark side that you really gotta look for, but just like Halloween, every now and then, a couple people die from poison candy. That's some dark lore. But I guarantee you, trick or treat is meant for children, okay? Bad things happen sometimes, even in child stories. It does, right? And the problem is, none of this is present unless you really look for it. But I want to keep going here real quick. All of Onkonomiya. Children were elected as puppet rulers of Onkonomiya, known as sun children. These sun children will be sacrificed to the Dainchi Mikoshi, the huge artificial sun. The whole thing was disguised as a ritual sacrifice, but the adult officials basically increased these sun children to keep them from growing old enough to realize they were being manipulated. Then you encounter NPCs like the babysitter of these sun children who have internal guilt over what they're involved in. Surumi Island, notorious being one of the most heartbreaking World Quest series, and involves children sacrifice again. The story's not voiced, I'm skipping it. If it's text, I'm skipping it. If it ain't voiced, I don't fucking care. And the Fontaine Archon quest did that Lynette was trafficked and really bad things could have happened to her, and Arlen Chino not coming to the rescue. Okay, Xanac Dottoro's backstory in Sumeru. All the people he brutally killed and tortured in Sumeru records. He allegedly killed a woman named Sorey. He was a student of the Sumeru Akamediya. After he killed her, left the body of Rishola, the Rishbolan tigers to try to hide his crimes. You can find autopsy reports who suffocated her to death. Okay, now, all of that is great. Okay? All of that is well and good. There is probably dark stuff in Genshin Impact, okay? But you got to understand, there are dark things that happen sometime in kids' games, okay? But here's the thing. None of that is in the forefront, None of that is in the spotlight. All of that is in the background, and you really got to pay attention and look for it for you to notice that, right? Because you know what is in the forefront?
It's not a particularly scary story, no. At least, not for most people.
Now, you might have just said, scary story. Scary story? Oh my God. That can't be for a kid's game.
It's the tale of the Dark Knight Hero.
Dark Knight Hero? I'm horrified. Paimon, what do you think? If you had that reaction just like Paimon, then man, you might be onto something here. Okay? You might be onto something here. Now, I agree. Maybe some of it was in the forefront. Maybe some of it was, right? Maybe, let's say, I'll be generous. Maybe 1% of that was in the forefront. Maybe even 2%, right? But you have to understand that if you are going to play Genshin Impact and expecting mature themes, expecting adult content, serious content, you will always be disappointed. And if you just accept that it's a game for kids, a lot of people will be able to move forward and stop this false expectations of what they have in the game, who get disappointed when they want characters to die, who get disappointed when they want challenging combat updates, who get upset every time they see new events happening. I accepted this was a baby game back in Sumeru, and it makes it make a lot more sense to me, okay? That's why I am excited for Natlin, because Natlin, they're going full on baby mode. They're making Pokemon, okay? Pokemon. They're making a Pokemon update, allegedly. Pokemon update, allegedly. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, you can't come in here. You can't come in here and tell me that this game is not made for children. Minecraft's made for kids. You can still enjoy it as an adult, but that doesn't mean that you should be hounding the devs of Java to add harder endgame challenging content and we want sex in the game, because it's a game made for kids. So just try to accept that and move forward, because it'll make you understand Genshin a lot more. And if you want a game that's a Genshin for adults, try Wuthering Waves today. Download in the pinned comment and the subscription. And thanks for sponsor. If you want an adult version of Genshin, then just play Wuthering Waves, because that's all it is. If you want death, if you want blood, if you want challenging content, if you want harder mobs, if you want complex intricacies in your mechanics, then just play Wuthering Waves. If you want an easier version of Wuthering Waves, if you want a pretty pony version of Wuthering Waves, then go play Genshin Impact. It's that simple. I think that you can enjoy both, but you need to understand they're aiming at very different people. They're aiming at very different people. Genshin's for kids, and I would say Wuthering Waves is for 16 and up. One's for kids, one's for teens. That's what I think. I hate to say it, Wuthering Waves isn't complex either, bro. If you want complex gacha, games aren't it. Fob, you're saying that because you spent $10,000. I sure as fuck hope Wuthering Waves isn't complex for you, because you spent $1 billion. You're going into a knife fight with a nuclear bomb. What do you think was gonna happen? Bro, I have not. Okay, Fob, then why don't you get on my account right now and beat Hologram 6? I'm clearing everything with a 4-star, and I bet they're max constellation. I bet you they're all max constellation. So why don't you get on my account? Why don't you get on my account, and then let's see how it goes, okay? But that is just get lucky. And there it is. See you on the next one. Appreciate y'all. And if you disagree, I would love to hear about it. I would love to hear about it. See you on the next one, boys. Peace.